Hello, I'm Tim Harris. This is Julie Harris, and this is Real Estate Coaching Radio.
That's right. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future episodes. Thanks again for popping by. Hit that like button, and don't forget to leave your comments and questions so we can get right back with you.
We will. Thank you for continuing to make our podcast, Real Estate Coaching Radio, the #1 listened to podcast for real estate professionals in at least the United States. And let us know what you think about this video. Leave your comments below. Thank you.
3, 2, 1, and we're back in today's show, tomorrow's show, and the day after that. The podcast is all about how to make $100,000 in the next 100 days. By the way, I added at least $100,000.
At least $100,000.
Because in some cases, frankly, this plan that we're going to be giving them over the next 3 days is going to produce way more than $100,000 because they're blessed with an amazing average sale price.
Yes, that's right.
So, Julie, thanks for putting this plan together. Let's just jump right in.
Yes, you got it. All right. So let's see. 4 facts for you to know. First of all, first fact, the average sale price in the United States is just a bit higher than $400,000. That makes the average commission about $12,000. And this means that you need 8 deals to gross $100,000 and about 10 deals to net $100,000. That's about 2 transactions per month. They're over about a 90-day period, right? Give or take, 100 days we're using. There are people who will absolutely be buying or selling real estate in the next 100 days, but the only question is whether you will be the one to list or sell the next homes in your market.
Now, Julie added that little caveat in there about it was a kind of a mindset point. A lot of you are listening to the news too much, or you're believing that there's not, essentially thousands, if not millions of people in your local market, depending on how big your market is, that are actively looking to buy or sell real estate. If you want to really cut through all the malaise and the bad information and the misinformation, just look in your MLS to see how many transactions there were in the last 30 days. And you'll be absolutely amazed. And I remember when Julie and I were selling real estate in Columbus, Ohio, in the middle of the winter, that's when most agents would stop selling real estate. They would just say, well, I'll call you back in the spring, Mr. Seller. Well, we always drilled down starting in like the end of, really generally speaking, the end of the third quarter into fourth quarter.
That's right.
And we'd always build our inventory. Now, not all of them would want to have active listings through the holidays, but those who did or didn't, it doesn't matter. The point is we were working when others weren't working. We got the benefit of that in the spring. So as you're really focusing in on primarily your mindset about the opportunity that's in front of you, don't do anything other than look at the market for the wonderful, amazing opportunity it presents for you. And if you're finding any reason whatsoever to not believe that this is the best market and this is the market you've been waiting for, then you need to tune out whoever or whatever it is that's making you think that way, because it's not true. There's, guys, look, the bottom line is this is probably going to be, for many of you, the best real estate market you can possibly imagine because of the fact that all the fluff and the froth is out of the market, and you can lean into the skills that you're listening to and learning from this podcast, as well as our coaching program.
Very well put. So fact number 2, when you list 2 per month, you will automatically attract buyer business as well. So we want you to focus on listings. Again, our mission here is to show you how to make at least $100,000 in 100 days. And leading with listings will give you both listings and buyers.
That's a kind of a little interesting thing. So for every one listing, there's a buyer. So in other words, there's as many buyers as there are listings. Well, reality of it is there's probably 10 buyers for every one listing. But why not focus on the listings? Because a lot of you are addicted to buying buyer leads. You buy it from pay-per-click. You get it from Zillow. You get it from all these different sources. Buyer leads are easily obtained when you have a listing. Different studies that have been done, our anecdotal information tells us that on average, for every one listing, you're going to do as many as 4 or 5 transactions. Why? That seller is going to become a buyer and buy something. Maybe you're going to double in that listing. You're going to list another house in the neighborhood. It goes on, but all that added opportunity comes from being a listing agent. And you don't really get that from working just strictly with buyers. You sell a buyer, and maybe you get a referral from them. Maybe you don't. Maybe they list the house with you when they are ready to sell it. Maybe they don't.
They might not even buy.
Yeah, exactly. Or the buyer just decides to stay put, keep renting, or stay in their existing house.
That's right. So fact number 3, it looks like you have more time than you do to do these 8 to 10 transactions. Take a wall calendar or your planner and count up the actual work days left in this year or left in this quarter, because you can use this 100-day plan for any quarter that you wish. But don't just say, this is day 1, tomorrow's day 2, day 3, day 4. Look at the actual work days so that you're realistic about your plan.
Well, so here's another little way of thinking about this. If we are personally coaching you, one of the things we'd want to do is create a sense of urgency, whether you had it or not, frankly. Some of you come to coaching, and you guys are blessed with having big savings accounts, and you really don't have to work that hard. So what we'll do is we'll set up maybe 30-day, 60-day, 90-day goals, and we'll create a sense of urgency. We'll gamify it. We'll make it fun. How many listings can you take in the next 30 days? How many in the 60 and 90? And we'll set what that will become your business plan for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And from that, you'll have tremendous momentum. Thinking in terms of much longer than 90 days in real estate, especially in a market like this, is going to make you broke. Always focus on who you can help. Really, that's primarily what this industry is all about, helping people. And then who's going to transact with you in the next 90 days or less. And again, our primary focus coaching you guys in this podcast has always been teaching you how to be absolutely powerful listing agents. So tune your frequency to that.
Yes, that's right. So when you're committing to the $100,000 in 100-day challenge, you will need to do 4 specific things. Part A, actively contact both people you already know as well as those you don't know. People who you know are past clients, people in your sphere of influence, and agent referrals. People you don't know are pretty much everybody else. Are you willing to speak with both of them in order to earn your $100,000 in 100 days?
Keywords, speak with, not text, not message, not Facebook,
Smoke
not
signals.
like posts, not send videos. Actually speaking to people right now. If you're looking to have the unfair advantage in the marketplace, when everyone else is doing everything digital, call people. How about that? Or
So
even
what's
better,
the definition of a contact?
exactly. A contact with someone is a conversation, as in voice to voice or face to face, with a decision-making adult. And so many of you have been led to believe that your focus in real estate should be building these massive databases, and then the averages will work out, and then a certain percent of those people will transact with you and blah, blah, blah. But what we know from consumer behaviors, drip campaigns have proven themselves time and time again to be highly ineffective. And here's a great way to find out. Go to whoever it is let me set qualifications. Go to somebody who you know has sold at least 100 houses in the last 12 months and ask them where their last 10 closings came from. And I guarantee you, none of them came from long-term drip campaigns. All of them came from direct contact that they had over the phone primarily. Maybe it was a referral, and the referral came from a centers of influence and past client type thing. But the reality of it is if you want to have an unfair advantage in the marketplace, pick up the phone, have direct conversations, and of course our coaching program works you through how to present yourself as a professional without seeming pushy, and we tell you what to say and how to say it. That is really where the superpowers that all of you seek are hiding, maybe even from you. So stop avoiding the real work of real estate. B, Julie.
Okay, part B, know where your business came from last year, plus this year up to date, and keep doing what has worked. Consider doing more of what worked. So here's a quick example. Let's say you had 5 transactions from repeat clients, but you don't actually have a system to speak with your database regularly. How many more repeat clients could you create this year or this quarter by being more drilled down on that source of business? So if you did 5 almost by mistake, because you did a good job and they referred somebody, what if you actually had a system where you specifically spoke with X number of them per day using a specific script? Well, your business would go through the roof, wouldn't it?
Well, here's the other thing I can carry off from that great point, is that if you're doing something right now, like let's say you're doing pay-per-click and you're making money from the pay-per-click, you don't stop doing it and start doing something else. Whatever you're working that's actually working to put money in your pocket and you're in a position to help people, you absolutely keep doing it.
Yes.
And in some markets, for example, direct mail postcards are killing it. Whereas in other markets, it's oversaturated and everyone's doing direct mail. Some markets, you can do digital advertising and it's absolutely working to generate leads and generate closings. You keep doing it. So don't stop doing something that's making you a profit. That's the key. Don't forget that. And when you join our coaching program, I know there's a lot of, there's dogmatic approaches that a lot of our competitors take, that when you join the center of influence past client guy, or you join the marketing guy, or you're join the cold calling guy, they're going to sort of browbeat you into just doing their one thing. That's not real coaching, guys, because if you're making a lot of money and helping a lot of people from something that's not part of their, repertoire, you've made a bad decision who you're hiring. I mean, that's really the bottom line.
Absolutely. Yes. So, but the key to that is knowing what has worked for you. And that's why you have to go back and source where your business has come from.
Oh, we should build on that too, because so you'll get a lead, and maybe your lead comes from someone messages you through Instagram. You guys message Julie and I through Instagram at Tim and Julie Harris. We get messages from you guys all the time. So Somebody messages you from Instagram and they say, I'm interested in selling my house. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you got leads like that? Maybe it's a little bit more of a roundabout type message, but you get the gist of it. It's an opportunity to work with someone buying or selling real estate. Most of you will not ever ask why they decided to message you. You won't. You won't drill down and find out that they're actually best friends with somebody that you sold a house to 5 years ago, or you met at Starbucks, or you met at the gym, and that's a referral. And because you don't stop and ask, well, I really appreciate the opportunity to do business with you or help you buy or sell real estate. May I ask, how is it that you decided or came about reaching out to me today? Because here's what you'll discover. A lot of the people trying to sell you digital marketing, especially pay-per-click type stuff, especially social media pay-per-click type stuff, they're not going to ask you to qualify actually the lead source to the level that we are, because it's incredibly important. So let's go back to the example. You're at the gym today. You're working out. You talk about real estate with somebody and, just go a nice little nothing conversation, but you leave the impression that with them that you're a real estate professional. That person then pops over to Starbucks and meets somebody that they see on a regular basis. Turns out that person just got transferred. They need to sell the house. Your friend from the gym now is referring you to the person that they know from Starbucks. You guys get this whole chain. This is how life works. Mm-hmm. Okay, now the person says, okay, Julie Harris, that's great. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to write it down. And then the person's going to go to Google and they're going to do a search for Julie Harris, real estate agent, New Albany Country Club, whatever, right? And then they're going to find your Instagram page. Then you're going to find your Facebook page. Then you're going to find so then they're going to message you through Instagram. Or maybe they search for you on Instagram. Then they message you through Instagram. And then you get this message, hi, this is Bob with, I'm interested in putting my house for sale. You're going to miss the opportunity to thank the person that actually truly did connect you with Bob, because you're just going to, in your mind, assume, oh, my Instagram campaign is working.
Instagram gave me that lead, right?
And
That's
we
what
hear
you
that
guys
all
say.
the time. I got the lead from Facebook. The hell you did. You didn't get the lead from Facebook. They just messaged you from Facebook.
That's right. It was a center of influence lead because you
Exactly.
spoke about real estate in person, face-to-face,
Exactly.
with somebody.
Now,
right?
notice how nobody else in the industry is telling you guys this
Clarifying,
stuff.
perhaps?
Right. It's because they want to sell you into the belief that it's all about social media and marketing, and it's not.
It's like saying that your iPhone gave you that lead. No, it's just
Totally.
a different way that they are communicating with you. That's all.
Remember, we're all about proactive lead generation, and then you reinforce it with passive lead generation. That's how you have consistent deal flow. All right, letter
That's right.
C.
And today what we're doing is we're laying out the groundwork of the mindset to do 100,000 in 100 days. Then we'll get to the plan.
Oh, by the way, our notes from today's podcast, which all of you will want, tomorrow's podcast and the following day, because this is a sequential show. The notes are below. Scroll down below. Scroll down, look in the notes. You can read right along with us. iTunes, Spotify. We're editing our notes more and more so that the different platforms don't condense the notes so you guys can see them all. I know a lot of you use these notes for your teams and your brokers and your broker meetings and whatnot. And some of you are using these for Instagram posts. I always like to see you guys sourcing us for some of these inspirational ideas that hopefully you're receiving from us. But yes, the notes are there, and also a link to join Premier Coaching is also there. And you can join Premier Coaching 100% for free. The link is below. Scroll down, click the link, join. It takes 17 seconds, and you will have full access to the first level of Premier Coaching, including a daily semi-private coaching call with a Harris certified coach. So scroll down, the link is there, and you're good to go. Julie, next letter.
Which is C. Do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. Longtime listeners, you should be familiar with this, but you have to actually do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, a whole lot, and at the highest level. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. Now, if you want more and faster, you're going to have to go to the next level financially, and you want to go to the next level financially. You must go to the next level with your skills, your discipline, and your consistency.
So if you want to have more money, if you want to have more relationships, if you want to have, frankly, better health, if you want to have more financial security, if you want to have more time freedom, if you want to have more of anything, you're going to have to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. I think, honestly, Julie, of all the things that we teach in real estate coaching, this is probably the most relevant because it really cuts through all the bullshit.
Yes, but there's a lot in that one sentence, right? There's 3 pieces to that. We do a big drill down in the Harris Rules book. There's a whole chapter that explains how to actually do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it
Well,
at
let's
the
start-
highest level with all these different things in real estate.
But it is funny though, right? So what do you, listeners, I have a question for you. What do you not want to do? Write all those things down now. Ready? I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Boop, 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 boop. All right, that was roughly 5 seconds.
Okay.
Now, if you just thought of the things that you don't want to do, maybe you came up with 1, maybe you came up with 5. Notice that all of the things that you don't want to do in real estate, I should have said don't want to do in real estate for the sake of lead generation.
Yep.
But your minds probably went there anyway. Notice that all of those things are the same very things. Some of you are laughing at yourselves right now because you know what I'm about to say. The same very things that are going to put you in a position to have real conversations with real humans about buying and selling real estate, right? You guys get it? So the very things that are going to put money in your pocket the quickest are the very things that some of you absolutely positively don't want to do.
Avoid like the plague.
Avoid like the plague. That's the reason you guys are all like, a moth to a bright light about all these easy button ideas. Oh, I can avoid actually having conversations. I can avoid actually putting myself in a position where I might get rejected. I can put an Instagram post of my, dog walking on a tightrope or whatever it is. Actually, that would be funny. I would watch that.
I'm sure you would.
I would. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys get it? So that's the funny part. So doing what you don't want to do, that's easy. It's pretty much all the things that you know you should be doing when you don't want to do it. So let's just say, for example, you're going to jump in the deep end and you're going to call, let's say, expired listings or for sale by owner listings. I know 99% of you will never do it, but I'm just throwing it out there so all of you can have that emotional feeling of revulsion, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have to call it for sale by owner. Absolutely will put money in your pocket. It's a skill set that you can absolutely learn, something you can absolutely master and absolutely help folks sell their homes and then make money from it. But we'll set all those obvious facts aside. Let's focus on this. I'm asking you to call for sale by owner. Is there ever a time in your life that you want to call it for sale by owner? Like ever? Nope, there isn't. So do what you don't want to do, call it for sale by owner when you don't want to do it, which is any damn time at the highest level. Because here's what a lot of people will do. They will celebrate the action, but they won't celebrate the result. They'll say, Tim, I called it for sale by owner and I didn't want to do it. Well, of course you didn't want to do it, but okay.
Nobody ever does.
Okay, let me listen to the call or role play with me. Let's hear what you actually had to say. And it's a train wreck because they're not doing it at the highest level. In other words, they're trying to take the win for just having taken the action. It's like Michael Phelps if he just jumped in the pool and said, no, I'm not swimming laps. Screw that.
I got in the pool.
Doesn't
that count?
Yeah, it should. Right? You guys get it? That is really where everything you want in life, it's on the other side of that. And it gets confusing because so many of you are believing that all you have to do is follow your passion and the money will follow. Okay. How's that working out for you? Or, if you're no longer passionate for it, you need to bounce to something else. That's not how real life works, guys. I wish it did, but it doesn't.
Well, that's why it's called work, not vacation, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many things in real estate that are like this. Sometimes you guys don't do what you don't want to do because you've made it up into your head, like even becoming a listing agent on some level, right? Because buyers are generally easier, right? Because listings, you have the chance of not taking the listing. It can be stressful, so you just skip it. You don't do it in the first place. Or you figure out how to generate listing leads. Go you. That's fantastic. That's largely what we teach you in Premier Coaching. But then because you're not doing it at the highest level, you're still winging it, not using a presentation, not using a pre-listing package. You've only done 2/3 of the win, which doesn't get you paid.
That's right. And so, Tim, what are you talking about? I'm just supposed to do some horrible work that I hate doing every single day? No, not necessarily, because here's what happens. Yes, doing what you don't want to do and you don't want to do at the highest level does require you to move past your, I was going to say childlike. I don't want to be so critical.
Feelings.
Your emotions about essentially being a professional. You're going to have to move into the realm of being a true professional. So here's what you discover. Your mental and emotional context completely changes when you start getting the results, right? Like, I get the fact that many of you, like if Julie and I were to get back into selling real estate, which we haven't done for ages, and you would ask us, sometimes we get this question, Tim and Julie, what would you do? Centers of influence, past clients, and expired listings, basically those would be the two things we'd focus on.
Immediately,
depending on the market too, new construction and other things as well. Those are the two things that we know would put money in our pockets the fastest. Now, here's the irony of it all, is that by calling an expired listing, that's going to put money in your pocket the fastest. That's going to require the most skill. That's going to require you moving past your emotional fears of being rejected, and yet you still don't want to do it. But what will happen is once you do it, once you're successful at it, once you then start seeing yourself doing it, feeling yourself doing it, your emotional state changes. And then when you start taking the listings and then you start making the money from all the business that comes from that one listing that you just took, I promise you every way you think, especially about proactive lead generation, completely and radically changes forever. Now, will you ever have passion for it? Honestly, hell no, you won't. You'll have passion from the results that you get from doing the work. So you're focused on the passion of doing the work. You will never find work that you're passionate about doing for very long. Focus on the passion comes from what you get to do and what you experience as a result of having done the work. See how nobody else tells you that, guys? That's what Julie and I have discovered from doing literally hundreds of thousands of coaching calls and having to unravel a lot of people's thinking with regards to real work. We're all been brainwashed. If you were born after 1970, you were raised in this era of, the mindset movement basically was, ever present in all of our lives. Follow your passion and the money will follow. That was in essence a big lie. And for the reasons I just explained to you. Now, here's another thing I want you to think about. Have passion for what comes as a result of you having done what you didn't want to do when you didn't want to do it at the highest level. Have passion for the lifestyle you have, for the financial freedom you've created for yourself. Have passion for the people you can help, not just the people you're helping transact, but the money that you can then put to work to help other people. Have passion for what comes as a result of you having done what you didn't want to do when you didn't want to do it at the highest level.
Couldn't have said it better. So here's the thing. Our favorite coaching calls, I think you will agree with this, and I know that the coaches would agree with this, are when our coaching members have that breakthrough, what you just described.
Oh, yeah.
When they say, and they always start out the same way, you are not going to believe what happened.
Like they discovered it.
It's the eureka moment, right? It always kind of lays out the same. They follow the 7-step listing plan, right? They actually use a pre-listing package. They send it ahead of time. They call to confirm. They do all of the things. They use our listing presentation. They learn how to handle objections. They close. It's textbook, right? And they always say, you're not going to believe what happened. The sellers just said yes. That's it. That's my new listing. And then, what's even more exciting is what happens after that when you have that lather, rinse, repeat moment go off in your brain. I can do this. I can systematically build listing inventory, which now gives me security mentally, emotionally, and financially that I can do this. Those are the best coaching calls.
100%. And here's the problem. Once you start building up the mental, emotional, and physical discipline to do this on a regular basis, and once you start seeing what Julie's describing, which is consistent cash flow, that gives you a consistent mental, emotional state because you're not worried about money anymore. Your magic number of listings is 5 listings at all times. You've worked up the mental, emotional, arm muscles basically to get to and maintain 5 listings at all times. I have a real, this should be an epiphany for all of you. You can keep normal business hours. You get your evenings back.
Yes.
You get your weekends back. You want to go to Johnny and Susie's T-ball team or whatever the kids do nowadays? I don't know.
Some kind of sport. I don't know.
Our daughter draws, so yeah. Anyway, so yes, you'll have time to do those things. You guys getting what I'm saying here? The sacrifices, the unneeded, unnecessary, burning the candle at both end lifestyles that many of you assume you have to accept, it comes from not doing what you didn't want to do when you didn't want to do it at the highest level. It comes from not having a disciplined life. You're constantly playing catch up. You can put an end to that insanity by just following a system. And that's really what our Premier Coaching Program is all about. Many of you, thousands of you, frankly, have discovered that. All right, Julie, do we have one more point?
Which leads us to D, ask for help when you need it. Nice segue. Mm-hmm. Okay, so don't waste time reinventing the wheel, sampling, or trying things out. Get help from our Harris certified coaches. Join Premier Coaching so you can have the daily support that you so crave in this business.
All right, that's where we're going to end it today. We are making a effort to give you guys more content quicker because a lot of you seem to like that. I wonder how many of you are actually ingesting it. Hopefully all of you are. Remember, the notes are below, so you can go back and review everything Julie and I just said. We do take a lot of effort, Julie primarily, to write the notes for each of the shows so you guys can use them as reference points. And when you're there, click on the link to join Premier Coaching. It's fast, it's free, and it's the next natural step for all of your real estate businesses. So scroll down now, click the link. In the meantime, thank you for keeping this #1 listened to and downloaded daily podcast for real estate professionals in at least the United States. Have a fantastic day.
Hello, thank you for having watched this video. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. And don't forget to hit that like button, leave your comments and questions below, and we will get right back with you.
Thank you for watching this video. And remember to watch the next one. You're going to love that one.